night tonight. Well, now it's time to go back on track with Bjarne and the rest of the Pirates as they prepare for their first home league match of the season. It promises to be a real cracker, but first let's join Roscoe for his regular roundup of his racing report and his review of the riders. Alan, as far as the road report goes, an away match at Peterborough now under their belt. Unfortunately, they didn't come away with a victory, but still a very good result.
Yeah, like I say, it's very early days, and a few riders have obviously got new machinery, getting their setups right, and it's going to take a little while. And you know, obviously the home riders are obviously going to have that little home advantage of knowing what setup they want, and it's a matter for our boys to catch up with them, which I'm sure next time they go to Peterborough, they'll turn it around again.
Well, of course, that was a challenge match. That's now behind us. The win on aggregate, though, and that's a good result. But tonight, of course, is all about elite league action and a tough one to start with. Coventry, of course, will be anxious to make up for last year when they narrowly lost out.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Coventry, in fairness, do very well down here, so I think it makes it all that little bit more interesting tonight. I think we went up to Coventry quite a few times and turned them over, but they seem to really come into their own down here for some strange reason.
The heat leaders obviously stand out. Leigh Richardson, of course, a former Poole rider, and indeed qualifying for the Grand Prix outright this year.
Yeah, I think Leigh's come on in leaps and bounds, and he's going to be a class act. And if he carries on the way he's going, he's surely going to be one of the greats of Speedway. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Especially him being British as well. I've got mine crossed for that. We don't see very many of them coming through, and hopefully Leigh, he'll have a good year this year.
Andreas JONSSON as well, of course. We've seen him in the Grand Prix going well and in the league, and he's helped Poole in the Craven Shield some year ago, or 2 years ago. So again, he's going to be good on this track.
Yeah, Andreas, he's actually an excellent rider. If he's on song, I think we could, that's where I think Coventry are going to rely on tonight, is on him. I think if he's on song, I think Poole are going to have to be, on top form, because if he's going, and with Richardson and Hamill. But in saying that, Billy's never had a great meetings round. He's never sort of hit double figures too often.
Yes, I saw, in fact, that he was saying he hasn't had a good meeting here for 2 years.
Yeah, like I said, I've been down, obviously I come here quite a lot. I've ridden here as well. But yeah, you sort of see it, and Billy hasn't sort of done too well down here. So if he goes and Andreas goes, then I think it'll be a very interesting meeting tonight.
Well, we had the opportunity to actually talk to Billy a moment ago and ask him about that, and we said to him that he hadn't had a good meeting here for 2 years. This was his reply. Billy Hamill, welcome back to Poole, and I've learned on the website that the last couple of years you haven't had a good match at Poole, so you're saying you're aiming to make up for it this time?
Yeah, definitely. This has been a terrible track, probably my worst track in the league, so I'd like to put that right here tonight, definitely, certainly this season.
This is a vital match for both teams. It's an elite league, real sort of top of the table chase, really. Two of the teams that are really fancy to do well this year.
Well, yeah, of course it's the first match of the year, our first league encounter of the year. So I wouldn't say it's crucial at this point in time in the league, but obviously with both of us, looking to take top honors, it'll be a good benchmark for both teams.
On a personal basis, of course, you've taken the decision to pull out of the GP, something of a historic decision, I guess. But how do you feel about that, and do you think that's actually going to help your Elite League campaign?
Well, I obviously I got to look on the positive side of things, and that's behind me now. I have made my decision, and that, I'll stand by it, and I don't have any ill feelings towards the Grand Prix or anything. It was just a matter of competing in the Grand Prix, on a level playing field. And I think once you've been world champion, if you go there thinking, oh yeah, it'd be great to be in the top 5, you wouldn't be there. That's not why you're riding the Grand Prix, and certainly not why I ever competed in the Grand Prix. I competed to win, and I just felt that if I was going to have to sacrifice that, then it wasn't, something was wrong there. I was basically, I'm a Speedway purist. I race Speedway because I love it, and I'm just staying true to myself, really.
Well, I think the Grand Prix will be poorer without Billy Hamill in it, I have to say. Back to the team, though, and of course the team looking very much like it did last year.
Yeah, we've had one change with Jason Bunyan losing Thomas Topinka, so yeah, we're more or less the same team as we had last year, and it's a good bunch of guys.
And 3 wins under your belt already. Do you think you can come here and make it a 4th?
It's going to be a tall order, I think all of us are going to have a good meeting here tonight in order to make that happen, but yeah, it's possible.
Okay, thanks for talking to us. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Well, Billy looks as though he could be confident, but of course the Poole side, they also look pretty good. I've got to say that Leigh ADAMS has started extremely well, winning his first ride here at Poole, and went on to be very, very confident looking here last Wednesday.
Yeah, I think once Leigh gets settled in, he's still not quite 100%. You know, I helped him last week in the pits down here, and we was having a talk, and I think once Leigh gets himself set in and dialed into the track, then he'll be happy. He wasn't 100% happy with his performance because Leigh, you know, we know he can score double figures, and when he scores a crash, which we never see Leigh ADAMS crash, and also he's, you know, he only scored about 8, but you know, anybody else would have been happy with 8 points, but someone of Leigh's calibre. But then he went away to Peterborough and scored 14, paid 15, so we know what Leigh's all about really at the end of the day. Once it's a matter of setting, you know, get the setup right, and I think you'll see the best of Leigh ADAMS.
Is that also true, do you think, of Tony? Because very uncharacteristic, couple of motor failures in his first 2 outings.
Yeah, like I say, that's a good thing about last week. It was a challenge meeting, good chance to get rid of the gremlins. They might have been trying new engines, new setups, trying different things. And I think you'll find you won't be seeing Tony Rickardsson, touch wood, with another engine failure, unless it blows up something daft.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Well, we did manage to catch Tony a few moments ago, and we asked him how he felt he was getting on, having had the opportunity to try the track out a couple of times. First of all, Tony Rickardsson, you've had a chance to try out the track now a couple of times. Are you happy with the track and the situation so far?
Yeah, it's been, you know, the track's always been good here, you know, and at the first meeting it worked out really well, and I think they put a lot of work and effort into it this year and make it even better, so it's going to be exciting. I think you're going to take a few meetings before we're going to settle down and really get it how we want it, but after that it's going to hopefully be great.
Now, there's a new role for you this year, of course, because you're going to be playing captain for the Pirates, something that you're experienced with, but are you looking forward to being captain of the Pirates for the first time?
Yeah, sure. I was for a few months last year too, you know, after having got injured, and it's always a privilege, you know, to be captaining, especially such a good side like this, but it's not too hard work with these boys. They're all really good lads, and you know, we get on really well, so it's not too much hard work for me.
Now, tonight's match obviously is crucial. It's coming into the first Elite League match, probably with one of our toughest matches, would you say?
It really is, and I think Coventry really is on fire, so if we're gonna beat them tonight, we really got to get going.
Okay, my notes say that you looked pretty relaxed over in practice. Is your setup and everything prepared? I mean, obviously you've been trying a few new things, I think, perhaps, but are you prepared as well as you'd like to be?
Yeah, sure am. You know, we had a really good start of the season. We had a few, you know, mechanical problems, but that hasn't been any major thing, nothing that we can't fix, you know, but it takes a little while before the bike settle down and you get everything going and running good, but the bike's been feeling great so far, and actually been feeling better than I normally do at the start of the season for me, so now we're really happy.
I guess also, of course, you're really glad to get your feet on the ground and get racing. It's been a tough winter, what with the Ipswich discussions over your contract and one thing and another. I know you're a bit quiet about those things, but I'm sure you're glad to be racing.
Yeah, sure am.
I guess I wouldn't be able to draw you out on that one.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sure that Tony Rickardsson is going to be doing his talking on the track this evening. Certainly the Pirates faithful will be hoping so here at Wimborne Road, where we get the Elite League season underway with this cracking league fixture between the Pirates and the Coventry Bees. Most people's favourites for top places in the league this season. Heat number 1 riders at the tapes now, Leigh ADAMS and Krzysztof KASPRZAK for the Pirates. Bees skipper Billy Hamill and Billy Janniro. Coming into line now, Leigh ADAMS just dropping back a little bit and psyching himself up for this all-important Heat 1, and so much depending on this very first fixture between Poole and Coventry, and the nerves jangling a little bit. See them coming into line now. Billy Hamill has gate 1 position. Is he going to capitalise on this, or are we going to see a jet from Leigh ADAMS? About to find out. Green lights on, away they go. Hamill ADAMS neck and neck into that first bend. ADAMS taking the wide line. Hamill on the inside, allowing Janniro to sneak up the inside, but ADAMS splits the Coventry Bees pairing as they cross the line after one race, with Billy Hamill currently holding that slender advantage from Leigh ADAMS, who's challenging hotly up the inside line. Billy Billy Janniro looks as if he's sitting comfortably in third place, and at this stage the Pole Krzysztof KASPRZAK tailing off at the back for the Pirates. So Bees looking as if they might open up with 4-2 heat win, but certainly at this stage Billy Hamill riding a comfortable mid-track line, Leigh ADAMS in hot pursuit, but with 1 lap to go it does look as if that's the way it's going to finish, although ADAMS is really giving it a blast. He takes the outside line, half a lap to go into the last bend. Billy Hamill from Leigh ADAMS, that is the way it's going to finish. It's a super win for the American rider and Bees skipper Billy Hamill. Leigh ADAMS finishing in second place, Billy Janniro was third, and Krzysztof KASPRZAK finishing at the back. So just as we thought, Pirates going to have their work cut out. Already the Bees take a slender advantage by 4 points to 2 in race number 1. Well, let's see if the Pirates can pull those points back in race number 2, as we have the reserves heat, say it every time, just as crucial as the big boys, and a pairing of David Ruud and Andre Compton for the Pirates off 1 and 3 grid positions. We'll be hoping to at least level things off here in heat number 2, but they face certainly stiff opposition from Coventry in the shape of Stuart ROBSON, who's been something of an in-form hero in the early matches for the Bees, having helped his side to 3 straight wins in their opening 3 matches against the opposition that came in the shape of Oxford, Ipswich and Wolves, and that Wolves match was a win away from home. So quite clearly the Bees are looking to start the season with a sting in their tail, and let's see if the Pirates can remove it here in race 2. It's David Ruud who starts from the inside starting position. Next to him in Coventry colours on 2, Stuart ROBSON. So they line up, green lights on, and away they go. David Ruud in the lead with Andre Compton taking a good line around the outside, and it could be a Pirates 5-1 here. Andre Compton trying to tuck in there behind David Ruud. He's under pressure from that Bees rider in green there, Stuart ROBSON, who was telling you was in excellent form, but this is looking good for the Pirates. David Ruud, Andre Compton. Andre Compton coming in at the number 7 position to take the place of Davy Watt, who's unavailable for the Pirates tonight, but it looks as if that's a pretty good switch for Poole at the moment, because Andre Compton in his first league fixture here at Poole this season for the Pirates is looking quite good there, but they're still under a lot of pressure from Stuart ROBSON, and 1 lap to go now. There goes the yellow and black flag. These riders well bunched together. David Ruud, Andre Compton, Stuart ROBSON. What a really cracking race this is for the reserves here, and I'm hoping here, no, it looks as if ROBSON has just gone up the inside and chasing strongly. Did he get that finish? Well, that was a heck of a last bend there by Stuart ROBSON, and that business of previous 3 matches looks as if it's continuing here at Wimborne Road. I wouldn't like to call that one. The referee's going to have to do that. Neck and neck between David Ruud and Andre Compton for much of that race, but as they cross the line, Stuart ROBSON coming through, and I've got a sneaking feeling he took that. We'll have to wait out and see what the result was in Heat 2. Well, with that verdict going to the Coventry Bees rider, Stuart ROBSON in Heat 2, means the Pirates are still in arrears as we line up at the tapes for race number 3. That drawn Heat 2 means that the scoreline now stands 5 to the Pirates, 7 to the Bees. Let's see if the Pirates pairing of Lukas DRYML and Bjarne PEDERSEN can do something about that. They were off the mark with a 5-1 against Peterborough last Wednesday here at Poole. Let's see if they can do something about this 2-point arrears at this stage, but they face very tough opposition from Leigh Richardson and Ryan Fisher for the Coventry Bees. Leigh Richardson it is who lines up from grid 1. Next to him on grid 2 is Bjarne PEDERSEN. On 3, Ryan Fisher, and on grid 4, Lukas DRYML. Let's just bring him into line now. Sky cameras here at Wimborne Road tonight, just to add to the drama. And the referee's just insisting that they get up to the tapes for Heat 3. Okay, about to go under orders. Green lights on. Away they go. Leigh Richardson showing up strongly from grid 1 position in the green helmet, followed closely by Lukas DRYML and Bjarne PEDERSEN. Pirates in the minor placings at this stage, although Ryan Fisher it is who has taken an outside line against Bjarne PEDERSEN and moved into third place. Lukas DRYML is having a blast around the outside, but now coming under pressure from the American rider for the Bees, Ryan Fisher. So at this stage then, the COVENTRY Bees looking for another 4-2 heat win, and Leigh Richardson looking very comfortable on his former track here at Wimborne Road. He's got none of the intricacies of this circuit, and he looks out in front very comfortable, a rider who finished the season in 2002 in really hot form, and it looks as if by this showing here that he's doing the same at the start of 2003. Coming up to the checkered flag, the Bees undoubtedly setting the early pace here despite that last challenge there by Lukas DRYML. It's Leigh Richardson who holds on for a heat win. The Bees taking a 4-2 with Lukas DRYML finishing second behind Richardson. In third place was Ryan Fisher, and fourth Bjarne PEDERSEN. Moving the scoreline on to Poole Pirates 7 points, COVENTRY Bees 11. Well, on to heat 4 now, and it certainly is time for the Pirate skipper Tony Rickardsson to do the talking here in this race, with his team trailing by 4 points already after just 3 races here at Wimborne Road. And he comes out this time and will be riding in the red helmet with his partner Andre COMPTON, and facing fellow Swede and fellow Grand Prix competitor Andreas JONSSON, who in the past has always shown his liking for this Wimborne Road track. Andreas is paired with the Bees number 7 rider that's recently signed from Ipswich, and that's Jason Bunyan. Indeed, it's Jason who rides from the grid 1 position, and he'll be joined on grid 2 by Andre COMPTON. Andreas JONSSON rides on grid 3, and Tony Rickardsson from the wide outside grid 4 starting position. Coming into line now. Be intriguing to see the battle of the Swedes this time. I'm sure they're going to be going head-to-head in this one. Green light's on now, and away they go. Rickardsson gets a pretty good gate from the outside position, but Andre COMPTON takes away the line from Andreas JONSSON. Something of a surprise to see Andre in second place there, and Pirates at this stage holding a 5-1 heat advantage. Not sure whether Andre COMPTON is going to... Oh, I think he's done his chain there just when he was well placed in second position. The luck is certainly not going with Poole already this evening. A 5-1 immediately turned into a shared race, 3 to each side, with what looked like to be a shed chain. Certainly he stopped pretty abruptly there, Andre, when well placed. So that leaves Tony Rickardsson now well out in front from Andreas JONSSON. Jason Bunyan, maybe somewhat fortunate, well trailed off in third place to get 1 point, and I'm sure Neil Middleditch will be cursing the Pirates' luck after that race, seeing his opportunity for the Pirates to square the match up, to remain 4 points in arrears. 10 then to the Pirates, 14 to the Bees. Tony Rickardsson, the heat winner. Pirates fans here at Wimborne Road then, looking at heat 5 in expectation that Lady Luck might even herself out this evening. It's 10 points to 14 in Bees' favour as we line up with Lukas DRYML and Bjarne PEDERSEN off 1 and 3 respectively. We've got the Bees skipper Billy Hamill lining up on the wide outside, and his partner Billy Janniro on grid 2. So it's the All-American boys, Billy Hamill and Billy Janniro, successful in heat 1 with a 4-2, coming up against the potential 5-1 pairing of Lukas DRYML and Bjarne PEDERSEN. But might be 5-1 on paper. What they're going to do on the track now as they come into line for heat 5. A little bit of hanging back, a bit of gamesmanship, not unknown at Speedway starts. This race proving to be no exception. Will Lukas DRYML get one of his jet-propelled starts like he did against the Peterborough Panthers here in the opener last Wednesday? The fans in the packed grandstand next to the tapes will certainly be hoping so. Here we go, green light's on now. And away they go, leaping from the tapes. Billy Hamill certainly gets an absolute rocket. And Billy Janniro looks to be handily placed on the inside. Bjarne PEDERSEN sweeping a right round, taking advantage of the dirt on the outside. But Billy Janniro now moving through for a Bees 5-1 after a single race of this heat. Lukas DRYML now having a bash up on the inside there, but nearly coming to grief and only putting Bjarne PEDERSEN in more trouble. These Pirates certainly not looking too comfortable in this one, as the All-American boys, Billy Hamill and Billy Janniro, are taking a 5-1 for the Bees, which would, this very early stage of the proceedings, put them 8 points into the lead, and that would be certainly some advantage at this stage. But Lukas DRYML now on turn 3 and 4, having a real go up the inside with 1 heat to go, and wow, what a dice-up between these two riders, and Lukas DRYML will earn the undoubted praise of the entire grandstand here as they come across the line to finish the race. No doubt about Billy Hamill's win, but Lukas DRYML in second place rescues an otherwise disastrous 5-1 reversal, and that 4-2 still puts the Bees into a 6-point lead. The scoreline now after 5 heats is the Pirates 12 points, COVENTRY Bees 18. So no tax sub on the Poole side at this stage. The riders continuing as per programme. It's Andreas JONSSON and Stuart ROBSON, hero of Heat 2 for the Bees, coming out against Leigh ADAMS and Krzysztof KASPRZAK. Krzysztof taking grid 2 position and Leigh ADAMS on the wide outside. So, well, let's see whether the Pirates can do anything about this early pressure from the Bees. They're 6 up after just 5 races. Obviously, a lead of that magnitude could be wiped out with 2 5-1s, but at the moment, not sure where it's coming from on the Poole side, because Coventry looking very strong throughout, possibly with the exception of their number 7, Jason BUNYAN. But nevertheless, we'll see whether Leigh ADAMS and Krzysztof KASPRZAK can do something here as they come into line. It's Heat 6. Green lights on. Away they go. KASPRZAK gets an excellent gate for the Pirates from the grid 2 position. ADAMS coming around the wide outside. Andreas JONSSON challenging these two, but at the moment KASPRZAK and ADAMS holding a 5-1 heat advantage. ADAMS struggling to keep control on the outside line there, plenty of dirt. Andreas JONSSON coming through into second place to challenge KASPRZAK. ADAMS then taking the inside line to try and get back at the Swedes, but at this stage it's a 4-2 heat advantage to the Pirates, which will be encouraging for the local fans. KASPRZAK still out in front thanks to that superb gate from grid 2, and something of a surprise to see him holding off the challenge of the Grand Prix rider Andreas JONSSON, who's now seemingly queuing up behind him. ADAMS coming and driving under JONSSON, but not quite happening there. Last bend now, can KASPRZAK hold it? JONSSON's lining him up for a last challenge, but KASPRZAK is going to certainly earn the applause from the home supporters. It's only the second heat win of the evening, and the young Pole overcoming his match nerves and an earlier last place to take the full 3 points for that heat win there. And that brings it back to a 4-point margin with 16 to the Pirates. Sorry, 14 to the Pirates, and 16 to the Pirates and 20 to COVENTRY Bees. Well, I think it's make or break time for the Pirates here in race number 9. Back to a 4-point deficit, but it's the pairing of Bjarne PEDERSEN, who goes from the gate 1 position, somewhat off collar with 2 last places so far this evening. Certainly much different from a week ago against the Peterborough Panthers, when he was absolutely flying. And his partner Lukas DRYML has been showing spirited form this evening, but yet to win a race. They come out against Andreas JONSSON and that in-form number 6 rider for the Bees, Stuart ROBSON. It's JONSSON from grid 2 and Stuart ROBSON on the wide outside. Coming into line now. Pirates really desperate for some sort of result here, at least a 4-2 in Heat 9 to narrow that deficit, not wanting to leave things to the the last few races, because quite clearly the Bees top end are in very sharp form tonight, looking to have the edge, somewhat surprisingly, over Leigh ADAMS and Tony Rickardsson at this stage. Okay, now coming into line, Bjarne PEDERSEN looking for his first points return of the evening in his third ride here. There he is in the blue helmet on the inside there. Arthur still struggling to get them all in line. No. Have another go now. Obviously well keyed up. Know how important this race is. And know how important this match is. The Elite League season opens up here at Wimborne Road with this dramatic match between these two title favourites. 3 nights on now, and away they go. Bjarne PEDERSEN indeed does get an excellent gate there, drifting to allow Lukas DRYML up the inside line, and Andreas JONSSON relegated to the back of the field now. The two Pirates now in the position they were a week ago, with an impressive looking 5-1, but they're going to have to ride really well to hold on to that. Bjarne PEDERSEN from Lukas DRYML. Andreas JONSSON back into third place from Stuart ROBSON, his team colleague. It's 5-1 at this stage, but not looking that comfortable. Lukas DRYML that time had to shut the door on the inside to Andreas JONSSON, who continues to challenge outside and inside. This Swedish Grand Prix rider is not going to let these Pirates have a soft touch 5-1 in this race. Bjarne PEDERSEN looking quite comfortable, but Lukas DRYML having to defy the efforts of Andreas JONSSON and drifting wide there on the second turn, struggling to get it back onto the line there to cover his team partner, and through comes JONSSON right on the line, and once again the Pirates failing to capitalise on what looked like a maximum heat win. Certainly the Bees are fighting for every point, and that was a superb second place there by the Swede Andreas JONSSON. Bjarne PEDERSEN taking the heat win. Lukas DRYML will be far from happy with that third place after sitting behind his partner for almost the whole of the race. So it's 4-2 to the Pirates, 26 now they have to the COVENTRY Bees 28, just 2 points between them after the 9 heats that we've had so far, and everything to ride for. 2 points between them then as we approach heat number 10 with Krzysztof KASPRZAK and Leigh ADAMS taking the inside starts for the Pirates. Krzysztof KASPRZAK indeed from grid 1. He'll be hoping to jet away as he did in superb fashion in race 6, which was his notable race of the evening, but certainly he'll do well to hold off the challenge from Leigh Richardson, although Leigh Richardson, I understand, has had some sort of a warning from the referee for not keeping completely still at the start of a race. I'm not quite sure how that constitutes a warning rather than a rerun, but nevertheless that's the word from the pitch. There has been some sort of dialogue about the starting tactics of Leigh Richardson, and we just have to wait for the post-match inquest. I don't know whether or not they're going to be entirely decisive in the eventual outcome with the league points. We've got Ryan Fisher then on grid 2 here, and Leigh Richardson on the wide outside. A key race. Pirates clawed it back to just a 2-point deficit, and Krzysztof KASPRZAK on the inside will be looking for one of his jet-propelled starts. Away they go now at the tapes for this one, and a pretty even start, but Leigh ADAMS has got the drive into the first bend. KASPRZAK in the middle there, just holding on to second place under pressure from Leigh Richardson and Ryan Fisher. But at the moment, well, there's been a tumble. In fact, it looks as if it's Leigh Richardson that's taken that tumble, and the previously unbeaten Coventry rider has fallen on that bend, and we'll await the outcome of the referee's deliberation. And indeed it is Leigh Richardson who has been excluded, so a break at last for the Pirates, looking to be in with a chance of a 5-1 that time. We're going to have a restart. Well, now the Pirates are poised possibly to go into the lead for the first time this evening here in race number 10, the restaging of this race after that dramatic fall and subsequent exclusion of Leigh Richardson, the previously unbeaten Bees number 3 rider there. And his exclusion means 3 riders only in this one. Ryan Fisher is, who's already been a thorn in the side of the Pirates this evening with 2 very well fought third places. He'll be looking to up that to at least a second place this time. He'll be aiming to split the Leigh ADAMS Krzysztof KASPRZAK pairing, although the two Pirates, of course, were on for a 5-1 after the in the previous attempt to stage the race before Leigh Richardson fell off. So intriguing prospect as they line up. Green light's on now, and away they go. And would you believe it? This time it's the COVENTRY Bees rider who makes the turn, and what looked to be a 5-1 in the Pirates' favour, now looking to be something rather different, as Leigh ADAMS and Ryan Fisher contesting this race very, very fiercely. Leigh ADAMS now driving along the inside, but the determined American endeavouring to shut him out, but this time Leigh ADAMS, the Australian and Grand Prix rider, is through into the lead, but unfortunately Krzysztof KASPRZAK, previously in second place, only managing a third place, so the Pirates were in, after all the drama, have actually suffered as a result of that stoppage, whereas I'm sure the home fans would have been expecting something a little more than this 4-2. However, it does mean that the scoreline now gets levelled off after 10 races, 30 to each side, a heat win, and for the first time this evening the home side are no longer in arrears. They've drawn level. There's still another 5 races. How dramatic this elite league fixture looks as if it's still going to be then. Back with heat 11 shortly.
Neil Middleditch, it's level at half time. We knew it was going to be tight. Did you think it would be this tight?
I knew it was going to be tight, but to say this tight is too tight as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, no, we always knew it was going to be a tough match, and it's certainly proven that to be that. I mean, the race has been fantastic, but unfortunately, my boys have been getting picked on the line a couple of times, which I'm not happy about. But got a few heats to go yet.
Had a bit of bad luck as well with the motors and one thing and another. If it wasn't for the bad luck, we'd have no luck, I suppose. Yeah,
I mean, Andre snapped a chain when he was well placed, but then Coventry, Leigh Richardson fell. So it sort of swings and roundabouts. But the boys are dug deep. We were 6 down. We've got it back to level now. So let's hopefully we can get on and get a victory.
Coventry did seem to start well. They seem to adapt to the conditions. Do you think our guys have made the necessary changes?
Yeah, I think so. Particularly Bjarne. I mean, he had a very poor couple of first 2 rides. Changed the carburetor, went a lot better. Still not as quick as he'd like to be. Unfortunately, I think that's probably what cost us the 5-1 there with Lukas was trying to cover for him, and he got picked on the line by Andreas JONSSON. Great ride by Andreas, having said that, but again, not the result I wanted to see.
We'd love to talk to them, but we're going to leave them to it because we know how important it is.
Yep.
You'll have to be their spokesman, but hopefully they're going to pull it out now in the next few weeks.
Yeah, that's right. They do want it. I mean, I think they realise how tough this is, and I say they just got to dig deep and just find that little bit extra and win the match for us.
Okay, good luck. Hope you do it.
Okay, thanks.
Heat number 12, and the Pirates desperate to do something about that 5-1 reversal. This time the COVENTRY Bees move to the inside gate 1 and 3 positions with Stuart ROBSON, a winner first time out, then followed by 2 last places. He may well use his Heat 1 advantage this time to add a few more points to his tally. He's joined by Leigh Richardson, a faller last time out. Opposition from the Pirates on grid 2, Lukas DRYML and Andre COMPTON. He broke the chain in that disappointing Heat 4 when he was well placed in second position with skipper Tony Rickardsson and conceded what was otherwise looking to be a 5-1. So perhaps Andre can make up for that disappointment here in race number 12. He's on the wide outside, and it's a formidable lineup for him to tackle with Leigh Richardson and Stuart ROBSON on 1 and 3. Let's see if Lukas DRYML can live up to the expectations everyone has for this exciting young Czech Grand Prix rider. Using red helmet on grid 2, coming into line now. Here we go then, the green lights are on, and away they go, and it's Richardson. It's the 2 Bees, in fact, who have got into the lead again. ROBSON and Richardson side by side and team riding on COMPTON and DRYML right behind them, but at this stage it looks as if Leigh Richardson will be turning on the gas and getting out in front. ROBSON in second place, COMPTON in blue on the outside, DRYML trying the inside line, and Once again, the Bees, if they got a 5-1 here, would be almost out of sight in this Elite League fixture, and would put them in the driving seat in the early stages of the season. And I don't know whether the Pirates will be able to recover from an 8-point deficit with just a few heats remaining. This is race number 12. They've got 3 left after this. DRYML once again coming into close order with Stuart ROBSON, the Coventry number 6. But it looks as if the Bees are going to take that, although DRYML makes a desperate last bend challenge, as we saw earlier on, but it didn't come off. It's certainly the sharp gating Bees on this Wimborne Road track where there hasn't been a huge amount of passing, and they now hold a lead by 40 points to 32. Pirates really up against it, 3 heats remaining. Heat 13, and it's the clash of the Titans, the Big 4. Pirates really up against it tonight with an 8-point deficit with 3 heats remaining. They've got their big 2 Grand Prix stars, Leigh ADAMS on grid 1 and Tony Rickardsson, the skipper, on grid 3. But these 2 riders have only, would you believe, taken 3 heat wins between them this evening. And when the side was put together at the start of the season, it was generally reckoned that for the Pirates to be successful, these riders would need to be scoring fully up to their averages, which are both extremely high. Both of them have been just a little bit below par this evening. Leigh ADAMS with 2 heat wins, including that tactical substitute, but very strangely, Tony Rickardsson only 1 race win out of 3, and had to suffer the ignominy for him of a 3rd place and a 5-1 reversal in race 11 against Billy Hamill and Billy Janniro. So there was a time for him to make it up to the Wimborne Road faithful. This is it, as Billy Hamill and Andreas JONSSON provide the opposition. There we have the 2 Pirates taking an early 5-1 advantage, with Tony Rickardsson and Leigh ADAMS shutting out the Coventry duo. They'll need to hold on to this 5-1 and get at least another one to get anything out of this match. But this is a promising start to the race on into lap 2 with Tony Rickardsson, Leigh ADAMS, and the Bees pairing of Billy Hamill and Andreas JONSSON relegated to the back of the field. The first time this evening that Billy Hamill has seen the back end of an opponent's bike, because he's back in 3rd place. And Pirates with 1 lap remaining, taking a 5-1. This would put the deficit back to 4 points, but still everything to do. That would still need 2 more heats for them to claw back the other 4 points, and that would just be to draw this fixture. He's always ride well here at Wimborne Road, but this time the Pirates are successful. The Wimborne Road faithful have something to cheer about. Tony Rickardsson back into winning ways. The skipper takes the checkered flag ahead of Leigh ADAMS. Scoreline then moves to Poole 37, Coventry 41, 2 heats remaining. So on to the penultimate heat then, race number 14, 4 points between them. The Bees holding the advantage as we go into this race, where they line up from the inside starting positions with that very impressive 2nd string rider Brian Fisher. 4 points to his credit this evening, but all earned the hard way and all at vital stages. You'll remember that he twice featured in 4-2 heat wins in his opening races. Then he split that potential 5-1 pairing of Leigh ADAMS and Krzysztof KASPRZAK in heat 10. So he's been, those 4 points are absolute gold-plated for Coventry. Let's see if from the grid 1 position he can add to that tally in 14. He lines up against Bjarne PEDERSEN and David Ruud for the Pirates, and the Wimborne Road faithful got great expectations of them completing the race. The Coventry number 6 Stuart ROBSON moves from grid 3, and this a very, very crucial stage of the match. 4 points advantage to the Bees. Anything in the way of a heat advantage this time, and that's the league points gone to the Coventry side, and it will be beyond the Pirates pairing in the nominated race to do anything about it. A drawn race or anything better for the Pirates, and they're still in with a shout. They're in line, green lights on, away they go, and in fact it's the Pirates that have got out into a 5-1 lead. Would you believe this? David Ruud and a Bjarne PEDERSEN, but PEDERSEN's now got taken by the American rider Billy Janniro, but still David Ruud. In fact, PEDERSEN now got relegated to the back of the field with ROBSON coming through. It's crucial that the young pirate David Ruud holds on to that advantage, but unfortunately The Coventry riders now ganging up on him. Ruud on the outside, just holding that advantage from Ryan Fisher, and Ryan Fisher challenging. Ruud, it's absolutely essential that he holds on to this, but Ryan Fisher on the inside, Ruud on the outside. If he can just hold on to this drawn race, then there's a possibility for Poole to share the spoils in the final race, but they would still need a 5-1 to do that. David Ruud riding the race of the night here, but unfortunately Bjarne PEDERSEN just unable to do anything about the third place, although he challenges strongly as they take the checkered flag, and it's David Ruud shares the points for the Pirates. What an excellent race from the young Swede, but it's once again Coventry packing into the minor positions with Ryan Fisher and Stuart ROBSON outpacing the Dane Bjarne PEDERSEN for a 3-all, 1 heat remaining. It's a last heat decider, but just a dog chance for Poole. They trail by 40 points to 44 in favour of the Coventry Bees. Well, Sky Sports love covering Speedway at Poole Wimborne Road with the atmosphere here. They also love last heat deciders. Well, they've certainly got their money's worth tonight, because we got both great atmosphere, great Speedway, and a last heat decider. Wimborne Road fans, on the other hand, love getting league points, and they would have liked the full set of 2 and a potential for the bonus on this opening fixture, but they're not going to get it. The best they can hope for, and only with a maximum 5-1 heat advantage, is a draw here this evening, because they trail by 4 points. Bees 44, the Pirates 40, and it's time to stand up and be counted with the big 4. Leigh ADAMS on grid 1 for Poole in the red helmet, and the skipper Tony Rickardsson on grid 3, and that opposition from Coventry comes in the shape of Leigh, Richardson and Billy Hamill. It's Leigh Richardson in green, Billy Hamill on the white outside in yellow. And what a superb race that we've got in prospect here. It's everything to ride for then for Poole. The riders getting a little bit nervous, turning back just to psych themselves up at the tapes. We're going to see some 4 laps of very important Speedway here in this opening Elite League fixture. 4 points between the teams, 1 race to go. It's fair to say that Leigh ADAMS and Tony Rickardsson looked comfortable from the inside positions in Heat 13. Can they repeat that here in the last race of the evening? Green lights on, away they go, and it doesn't look as if they have, because the rider in green, Leigh Richardson, has made a superb gate there, and unfortunately for Poole, he's out in front with Tony Rickardsson and Leigh ADAMS in second, fighting off the efforts of Billy Hamill, who's trying to split the Pirates, and in fact it does go round Leigh ADAMS. Tony Rickardsson is between the 2 riders, but at this stage it is far from what the Pirates are looking for, and the Bees are going to go away with all the points. They currently hold a 6-point advantage with this 4-2 heat win. Leigh Richardson, I think, this evening, once he's got his nose in front, is unlikely to be challenged, though. Tony Rickardsson coming up the inside, and I'm eating my words as we speak, because Tony Rickardsson drives through, but that's only half the story, because unless Leigh ADAMS can make some impression in the 1 lap remaining on these 2 Coventry Bees, the Pirates are going to surrender their home record here at Poole with just the first Elite League fixture of the season, and they are in fact going to go down by 4 points. Tony Rickardsson takes the checkered flag, but the all-important second and third going to Leigh Richardson, Billy Hamill, and Leigh ADAMS trailing off at the back there in 4th place, making the final score in this thrilling, but for the Pirates faithful, disappointing opening fixture at Wimborne Road. Poole Pirates 43 points, Coventry Bees 47.
Well, something of a shock result then for the Pirates, going down by a 4-point deficit, 47 points to 43 here this evening, on a night when it has to be said that each of the Pirates probably not performing to their full potential, and perhaps needing a little bit more track time. Certainly Coventry, they adapted to the track best. They started earlier on, but at Speedway it's a funny old game, and it could say that it came down to a broken chain for Andre Compton, or even that 5-1 that was on the cards, and we saw Leigh Richardson fall, and it was all called back for nothing. So in the end, the Pirates, as I say, they're 4 points out of it. They've lost their first home encounter, but only better can come, and we'll be bringing you more of that later on.